Hey, what is up YouTube? This is the Merman Master coming at you guys from the Team Time Riders Yugioh channel with my updated Vennominaga OTK deck profile. A lot of you guys were asking for this profile on the last video, and so I wanted to give you the opportunity to see it. I'd worked on this list for quite a while, but didn't have the opportunity to profile it due to being in school. But now that I'm back, I'm excited to be able to show this to you guys and really hope you enjoy it. Now, without further ado, let's get started in the deck profile. I'll go over the deck first, and we're going to go over some tech options too. Starting things out first, up from 1 for the very first time ever, we now have 2 copies of Vennominaga, the deity of poisonous snakes. This card is super good and is one of your main win cons in the deck. And the reason we're upping this to 2 is because we run enough bricks in the deck, and if you resolve 2 of your Rise of the Snake deity on the destruction of 1 Phenomenon, you can special summon 2 of these monsters in a row. So this is really cool, and also helps for if your opponent banishes 1 or gets rid of 1, you still have the option to summon another one from your deck during the course of a duel. Of course, cannot run deity without 2 copies of king. We're still keeping this at the same number. This guy is basically just your way to get into deity. And we're also running 2 copies of our Lord of the Heavenly Prison. Now, this card, for those of you guys in the last profile, is one of the best cards in the deck for kind of consistency pieces. It can grab you any spell or trap from the deck, protect your back row from your opponent's destruction and targeting and things like that, and just is basically an all-around great card for a trap-focused and trap-heavy deck. I think it was originally made for use in Eldritch, but we can use it in here because it can combine together with Vennominaga or another copy of itself to go into a rank 10, such as Gustav Max. We next are running 1 copy of Dangerous Tsuchinoko and 1 copy of Night Sword Serpent. These are just basically tech cards for tech cards and extra reptiles for our graveyard play. There's some new reptiles that came out in the brand new Power of the Elements set, but I haven't decided to run them yet. I don't know how good they're going to be, and I feel like they're mostly bricks in hand. Of course, since we're running the DPE package, we're running a copy of Dasher and a copy of Draw Hand. These are just options. You can switch out the Draw Hand or the Dasher for any Destiny heroes that you want. You could go for Maliciouses, you could go for a Celestial, whatever it is, but just basically helps out with a number of our plays and nets us extra draws, which is really nice. Now, there are 2 engines in this deck that help it run and also provide reptiles for the graveyard. One is the Reptilian engine, and the other is the Ogdoadic engine. I'm going to start out with the Reptilian engine. It's 2 Coatl, 1 Niami, 1 Lamia, and 1 Gardna. And this number can, change as the ratios desire, but Coatl's super good as just a way to get into all your monsters. It's a level 4, can be treated as a tuner, so you can go into synchros, you can go into rank 4 XYZs, and you can also use it for link monsters, which is awesome. Niami discards from the grave to turn them, hand to the grave to turn an opponent's monsters to 0. Lamia is super great for going with level 8 monsters into level 10 synchros and other kinds of cool plays that you can do. So if you want to run Baroness de Fleur in here, you can go ahead and do that. And Reptilian Gardna is also cool for just searching out things and triggering your Reptilian plays. So it's going to do it for our Reptilian engine. Pretty small engine. The last card that I wanted to point out and give its own separate indication here is 1 copy of Voski. This actually comes in super handy with your DPE, because DPE can lower your opponent's attack power. So if you lower your opponent's attack power by at least like 400, they got low attack monsters on the field, you can turn things to 0 and tribute over them with Voski, which is quite nice. Now for our Ogdoadics, we have 2 Remnant, well, 2 of each Remnant, should I say, Noya and Nunu, basically for discarding to grab like different cards. Noya can also search us a Ogdoadic spell or trap from deck to hand. We have 1 copy of the Zoha Ogdoadic Boundless. I think this is the best of the rare versions of the Boundless, so that is Really, really nice to have in there in the deck for some extra plays. And then brand new, so first we have Elite, which was in the last profile, and we also are running a copy of Curse. Now, Curse is my new favorite Ogdoadic due to the fact that it is able to revive an extra Ogdoadic monster from your graveyard, which is super great for links, ranks, other kind of things like that. And you can just really push a lot of advantage with Curse that you couldn't really with just running a copy of Elite in here. That's going to do it for our monsters. It's a bunch of reptiles. It's a total 42 card deck. Only 4 cards in this, 4 monsters in this main deck are not reptile monsters. Now, for our spells, pretty self-explanatory. We've got 3 copies of Snake Rain. Can't run any less than that. 2 copies of Ogdoadic Water Lily for its Foolish and Revival effect, if you're correct. 2 copies of Fusion Destiny for our DPE. And then a single copy of Allure, a single copy of Double or Nothing, and 1 copy of Monster Reborn to close us out of our spells. Traps are next. 3 copies of Trap Trick. Pretty much gets you to search every single trap in this extra deck. And we're running Rise of the Snake Deity, Back to the Front, and Offerings to the Snake Deity. So that's Offerings, that's Rise, my bad guys. But basically these cards are searchable ways to get straight to Vennominaga. They were in my first profiles. I really, really do love this trap engine, and with your, where is he right here? This guy right here, your Lord of the Heavenly Prison, you can set all these traps, reveal Lord in your hand, and protect them all. That's going to do it for our main deck. Moving on to the extra deck, and the extra deck is very toolboxy, so I'll go through each of the cards in turn. Starting things out first is your DPE. Now DPE is super great because he will be able to pop all of your stuff on demand, and when you use him to pop a phenomenon, the pop of that phenomenon does not miss timing, which is absolutely amazing. And DPE is just a really great card in general. Granted, the loss of the Predaplant on the ban list does make this slightly less consistent, but it's still such a good card and a great way to just push a lot of advantage when you need. We're running 1 Hulk Fibrax, pretty self-explanatory, and 2 copies of Reptilian Echidna. This is brand new in, I think, like Dupo or something like that. But basically you run this card because you can repeatedly link into it at multiple times. So you can just keep linking into Echidnas. Its effect is only once per turn, but its summon is not. And so you can just load your graveyard up with like large amount of reptiles just by repeatedly linking other things that you have or things that you search into this card, which is awesome. 1 Blackluster Soldier, really, really great. You run a lot of high levels in here, so you can make this guy pretty easily, and he pretty much stops a good number of decks, and it's just a nice card in general for damage and other things. Single copy of Reptilian Hydra. You really don't need more than 1 than this, but it's just so good with the right cards, with a Voski, with a Lamia. You just reduce a bunch of your things on your opponent's field to 0, and then you summon this card, pops it all, and then for each one it pops, you just draw a card. This is my favorite synchro in the extra deck here is Melusine. Melusine is, if you use a reptile to synchro summon it, it's unaffected by card effects, or it cannot be destroyed by battle or card effects. Just super, super good, and like, you just have it sit on the field, and every time a monster effect is activated, you can turn a monster to 0, which is just unbelievable. Combine that together with Hydra, and you're really cooking with fire. Single copy of King of the Feral Imps. Of course, you can take out any of the toolboxy stuff I have in here for it, for more copies of King, which you might want to do. And now, a couple of engines that I'm running. I'm running the Bahamut Shark engine, which you can do with your Gardna and your Nightsword Serpent. It does come up more often than you would think, because you can send the Nightsword Serpent to the graveyard, and you can also search the Gardna, which is good. Then we also have the Utopia package, so that's 1 Utopia double, 1 copy of number 39 Utopia. Just basically using these guys to go into just OTK plays, like surprise plays against your opponent, which is also really, really nice. Run the Utopia package in my Harpy deck as well to steal games. And then closing out our last cards here, we've got a copy of Gallant Granite. This will search your Lord of the Heavenly Prison out of the deck which is just super, super good for locking down your back row and ensuring that you can summon that Vennominaga before your opponent activates the Heartbeat's Feather Duster and blows your field away. Copy of Dingirsu is just a really good card. That's all there is to it. And finally, single copy of Super Dreadnought Rail Cannon Gustav Max for those rank 10 plays. And this will come up actually quite often, guys, because you're summoning a lot of rank 10s in this deck, whether you're synchroing into a rank 10 with an 8 and a 2, you're utilizing your Vennominaga, which is a rank 10, and Lord of the Heavenly Prison is a rank 10. So you could swing in for 6,000 damage with 3k attack Vennominaga and a 3k attack Lord of the Heavenly Prison, and then overlay into Super Dreadnought Rail Cannon to inflict 2,000 damage for game. So that's going to do it for our main deck. I just want to show you a couple of other XYZ and extra deck monsters that I want to demonstrate for you guys for like a toolbox. You can choose to take out anything in this extra deck to run as many or as few of this stuff as you want. But this is stuff that I've just found that comes up pretty often and is kind of fun when you can pull it off. Of course, first card that I want to point out here is one copy of Wonder Magician. You can use this with your Halqifibrax. Pops a spell or trap during your opponent's turn when you send the Halqifibrax away for this card. It's a really nice like option play. And then we're running, of course, we've got the third Echidna and 2 more copies of Feral Imps. These are just, depending on the ratios that you want to have, you can run either these guys or more of them. We've got a copy of 2 more Reptilian Hydras as well. You can choose to run 1 or 3. I've never needed more than 1, but if you build it the right way or you use the Ogdoadic spells or traps or something like that to put more 0 attack monsters on your opponent's board, that also works. 1 copy of Cosmic Slicer Zero, just a super good card like to go into. It's a Reptile Link 3, very easy to make. So you're not going to have the BLS play at all times, so it's just another good option to have. We have the Draglubion combo. You can run it with the Numeron Dragon. I prefer running it with number 92 Hard Earth, but it's entirely up to you how you guys would want to do it. I just think it's a super fun combo. It won't come up too often, but it's kind of cool to be able to do that, and it's also another one of those like game-stealing combos. And then, of course, just some like random other ranks. Galaxy Eyes Photon Lord and number 37. You can also run the Stealth Krogan package in here as well if you'd like. I actually don't know if they just require water monsters, but the Stealth Kragan and Stealth Kragan Spawn combo are kind of pretty cool. They will take up a lot of space in the extra deck and prevent you from toolboxing as much, but then again, guys, it's entirely up to you how you want to build your extra deck, and it really is depending, like, you know, the main deck, like if I could run like 30 or 40 extra deck cards in here, this is like one of the decks where I think that I actually could do that and that I would want to do that. And so, you know, I think it really does depend where you see yourself going with this kind of deck. But that's going to do it for my deck profile. If you guys liked the video, please remember to rate, comment, subscribe to the Team Time Riders YouTube channel. And this has been the Mermail Master, and I'm signing out. Catch you guys next time. Peace.